We're going to talk about simplifying and comparing decimal numbers. So it says perform these two subtraction problems with a calculator. So I'm going to get a calculator out. Math. So I have 425 minus 125 equals 300. Okay. And I have 425 hundredths minus 125 hundredths. I get just 3. Okay. This is which calculated answer differs from the printed answers below? Should be this one. Okay. Notice how it's different from the calculator. We took off those zeros. So calculators automatically simplify decimal numbers with zeros at the end by removing the extra zeros. Many calculators show a decimal at the end of a whole number, although we usually remove the decimal point when we write the whole number. So 3.00 simplifies to 3 on a calculator. We remove the decimal point and write 3 only. So for now on, if we have these extra zeros, I want you to get rid of them. We don't need to write them anymore. So this says multiply 25 hundredths by 4 hundredths and simplify the product. So 25 hundredths times 4 hundredths. Remember, we don't need to line up the decimal point, so we're multiplying. And so it's 20, 10. I have 1, 2, 3 numbers behind the decimal point, so I go 1, 2. Okay, I'm going to add a 0 here after or before the decimal to hold that value again. This 0 right here is the only 0 that I want left. That's not absolutely necessary. Okay, it's not necessary, but it's going to hold that place value of our whole number. Okay, these other zeros right here, those are unnecessary. 100 thousandths and 1/10 are the same exact thing. So we can just cut them off and leave our answer as 1/10. That's what they mean by simplify the product. Get rid of those unnecessary zeros. Zeros at the end of a decimal number do not affect the value of the decimal number. Each of these decimal numbers has the same value because the 3 is in the tenths place. Okay, notice 3 is in the tenths place here, here, and there, in all 3 spots. So, although the 3/10 is simplified form, sometimes it's useful to attach extra zeros to a decimal number. For instance, if we're comparing numbers, it can be easier to compare if we have the same number of decimal places. Okay. So, when we're writing our answers, I don't want these zeros. I want to get rid of them. But in our work, I can have them there because they might be useful. So this says compare 3/10 and 303 thousandths. When I'm comparing decimals, I like to line my decimal points up and then fill in any holes so that all the numbers have the same amount of digits and in the same place values. Okay? It's a lot easier to compare that 300 thousandths to 303 thousandths than it is 3/10 to 303 thousandths. If I write those zeros in, I can see that 303 thousandths is bigger than 300 thousandths, so I'd write the less than sign. So when we're comparing decimals, line your decimal points up, write the numbers out, and that will help. Now, it says arrange these in order from least to greatest. Same thing. I want to line up my decimal points. So that whatever place values there are lined up, fill in any holes I have. So here I'm in tenths, I want to get this to thousandths. And here I'm in hundredths, I want to get to thousandths. Okay. Now, I can look at the numbers after the decimal point since all my whole numbers are 0. So this is 300 thousandths, 42 thousandths, 240 thousandths, 235 thousandths. So least to greatest, I can see 42 thousandths is going to be the least. Okay. Okay, so I got, use that one. Now, 300 thousandths, 240 thousandths, 235 thousandths. This is the smallest number. That's what number I'm going to write next. We write it in the form that it is in my problem. Okay, so I use that. Now 300 thousandths, 240 thousandths. Well, 240 thousandths is next, but I need the number that's in my problem, not the number I wrote in my work. Okay, so I need 24 hundredths in there. And then the last one I have is my 3/10, 300 thousandths. Remember, I need to write it as it is in the problem. So I'm going to write 3/10. Now I have them in order. So when we're comparing, trying to order least to greatest, line up those decimal points, fill in our empty spots, make sure in our answer though we write the numbers as they are in the problem. Go ahead and do the practice set. If you have any questions, bring them to class and we will get them answered.